Hello, hello, beautiful pearls. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Like I said, I always like to do my lives on Mondays so I can check on you after the weekend. My weekend was nice, very interesting one. Although I sound a little bit sick, I have a runny nose, nothing else, nothing serious. Just a little bit of a choky throat, so bear with me today. uh, Tonight's life is gonna be very interesting because it's talking about how to know when you are on your awakening journey. And before I start to tell you how you can know when you are on your awakening journey, let me tell you a little bit about um, my own journey, or how I reached here. Not how, but what was happening. Like what was happening in my life and how I realized that I am on my awakening journey. Since I was a kid, I always liked to be of service. So I always liked to help other people, and I always wanted to be, um, helpful, and always giving from my inner knowing. Although I was still very young, I knew a lot. I didn't know how I knew a lot, but it was very intuitive to me. Everything that I had, everything that I wanted to give was really very intuitive to me. So it used to come to me very easily, and I would be like always helping around, always supporting people, even with things that I don't know anything of. But we say in Arabic, Subhanallah. So everything used to come to me easily. So, and I was able to comfort people around me and support them and just make them feel loved and make them feel supported and make them feel appreciated. And I think being there and doing that was the first um, trigger, if you wish. Not really trigger, it was the first initiation. Let's call it this way. It was the first initiation, but I was really very young. I was like in my teens. And even earlier, I remember I was like 8 years old or 7 years old. I would be always very happy to chip in and always share and always want to help, you know? So this is how it all started for me. And then um, during my teenage, I used to have a lot of questions about, if we human beings are if we have choices in life, or if we came to this life with everything already set for us on stone. So I always asked myself these questions, and I used to also ask them out loud. But sometimes when you ask these questions out loud at such a young age, and maybe in our very specific, very original culture, and I say original with all the love that is in the world, because it is. I mean, our culture is very special, and when I say our culture, I'm talking about mainly the Arabic culture. So, you know, there's always this um, question mark when you start asking questions like, are we here by choice, or are we here because we cannot be somewhere else, or what are we here to do? What is our, calling in life? Who brought us here? All these like metaphysical questions that we start asking ourselves. I started asking them at a very young age. Maybe not around, because like I said, sometimes the culture would not be welcoming, and people around us judge, judgment is such a big thing when you start working on yourself and when you start your awakening journey. But this is a topic for another day. But you know, feeling like worried about how people would judge, you keep those questions to yourself, and sometimes you even bury them. And this is exactly what happened with me. I used to ask those questions, and then eventually I buried them. And then one day, like not too long ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I I started being unsatisfied with everything that was around me. I was unsatisfied with the world. I was unsatisfied with myself. I did not like my life. I was not enjoying my life. So everything that was around me was, I felt like it was crumbling. And in fact, it wasn't. And I think this is what was happening because I started realizing that there is much more to my external world and to my life than meets the eye. And this is when I started thinking, maybe there's something more for me. Maybe something is starting for me. And this is how any person would who would go through these acknowledgments of, you know, looking around you and not liking what you see and not liking um, you know, the world around you, not being happy with your own life. You should know that once this happens, something major is going to shift in your life. There's a major shift that's going to happen. You are most probably starting your own awakening journey. This is how it started for me. And I remember there was a main trigger actually. My brother, um, who had his own journey started before mine, and he used to be he used to do a lot of meditations, and he used to connect a lot. And uh, you know, one day he was telling me, Maysoon, you should do this, and you know, this is something very important and it's great, and what you will see and what you will feel is going to be different, and trust me on this. But you know, if anybody knows me from the people watching, you would know that I'm not someone who would follow people by just, you know, yeah, okay, let's do this. You know, I have to experience things for myself, and I also want and choose to be ready to do this. I do not follow just to follow, and I do not follow the flow because I want to, because the flow is just there and I have to follow it. I choose to feel it. I choose to decide for myself, and people who know me will know that about me, and it will take me time. And this is exactly what happened when my brother triggered me. At that time, it did not really trigger me, but that was the starting point in my subconscious mind. That was, you know, this small catalyst that was growing and growing with time, um, telling me that there's something coming for you, you know. And then 4 years ago, it actually started. It completely started. I started on my self discovery, and I started on my healing journey, and I started knowing more about who Maysoon is and what Maysoon is here for, you know. So all these questions came back, and all these questions started having answers. And yes, we are here for a purpose. And yes, we are here because there's a divine reason why we came to this planet. And mine is to be of service and to help other people, and to support them in knowing what they are here for, and knowing who they are, and going through that journey, which we call that awakening journey. My program that I'm working on, that I've put together, is to awaken the champion within you. This is the name of the program. So awakening the champion within you. There's one implication in that sentence that says that every single one of us has this champion. It's not like you have it and someone else doesn't. We all have it. And we all want to reach one point in our lifetime, in this lifetime, where we can hopefully awaken our champion. Hey Alisar, did I judge my brother then? I think I did. Not really judged him, but I was more like, you do your thing and I do mine. I wasn't judgmental. I was more, it's not for me right now, you know? So this is what happened when my brother came to me with his ideas and, his recommendations. But like I said, we all have our own divine timing. We will all reach that point. If not in this lifetime, in another lifetime, but we are all here to discover that divine timing and that divine mission that we are on. We are here on a mission. So it will take time for people, and some people do it before others, and some people realize that, okay, oh my God, this is my divine timing and this is my divine journey, and I'm so happy and I'm so excited to be on it. And some people, put some brakes on, like I did 7 years ago. Maybe even more. I think it was even more than 7 years ago. So, so basically, then you start those questions that I used to have when I was a kid. They started coming back, and now I know that there is something for me out there to do, and this is what it is supporting people and helping people through my own experience, through my own journey, through everything that I have been through, supporting them in awakening and becoming the champion that they are already, and just shining in that championship, and be that person that they know they are, and they are just not figuring out how to do things. But this is another topic. I mean, today I'm here just to share with you a lot of my experience, and also to share with you like how it feels when you are on your awakening journey. Like, what are the benefits that you get when you start this awakening journey, and when you start working on yourself and knowing who you are and knowing where you're going, and knowing where your destination is. It's like when you have a business and you have a business plan and you know where you want to get. It's exactly the same, but in this case, you know that you're getting there. You are 100% sure that you're getting there, because you have all the divinity in your soul, and it's all there to support you on this journey, and it's all there to help you get to where you want to go and where you're destined to go. You're destined because your soul chose this. It's not because someone written it for you. Okay? That's not what I mean when I say destined. I mean, this is your soul's choice. Your divinity and your divine soul decided that this is what you will be doing on this planet in this lifetime. So the benefits of this awakening, the first thing, and it's amazing, it's an amazing feeling, and everyone who knows me will tell you the change that happened in me when I started my awakening journey. And as I go through it, it's even becoming more and more empowering, because I started feeling this amazing inner peace, and it's like bulletproof. It's like nothing can touch it. no matter what happens around me today, I'm in a state where whatever happens around me, nothing can affect me, nothing does affect me. And it's just, this is so powerful, people. I tell you, I mean, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful for this feeling that I have that is making me just peaceful. I feel inner peace no matter what. So this is like one of the biggest benefits that you will get when you are on your awakening journey. It's just amazing. The other thing that you will always be feeling is true happiness. Like no matter the life circumstances that you are put through. So it's another way of being bulletproof to anything that happens around you. You will always be truly, truly, like deeply from within your heart, you will be truly happy. And this is also something that, again, I'm so grateful for. I mean, I started this journey for myself. I decided that it's the right time for me. And every one of us will have this right time. Every one of us will go through this journey. At one point in time, they will realize that, yes, the time is now and I'm ready and I'm going for it. And believe me, the outcome is nothing but great for you. And the beautiful thing about it is that once you are on this journey, it starts also affecting everyone around you. Let me have a sip of water. So my flu is not really helping much, but I have so much to say today. All right. So you start seeing that you're changing, and people around you start seeing that you're changing, and they kind of start embarking with you on your own journey. It happens like naturally. This is where there's a flow. It just starts happening naturally. The other benefits from being on your awakening journey and your self-discovery journey is the feeling of oneness with everything and everyone. It's like you feel you are the same. You're all the same. You are all here for something that is more divine and that's bigger than everyone. And you feel this oneness with everybody. You stop feeling like there's no ranking anymore. That doesn't exist anymore. It leaves your dictionary. It goes somewhere. I don't know where, but it just disappears. You start feeling equal and you start feeling at balance with everything and everyone around you, and this is amazing. Another feeling that is just so beneficial to have. And then one major thing. When you are in this state, like you're so peaceful, you're feeling oneness with everyone and everything, and you feel true happiness all the time, there's one major result out of all of this, and it's the feeling of unconditional love. You start having the feeling of unconditional love towards everything and everyone around you. It just happens so naturally when you are on this journey. You don't really ask for it, you don't crave for it, and you don't really like work for it. The minute that you are on this journey and you start working on yourself, everything unfolds naturally. And feeling unconditional love for all beings is, I tell you, it's amazing. I mean, like, you can't even, not you can't, it's just, you would feel it unnatural to even kill a fly. It is that much of unconditional love that you start having for everything and everyone around you. And it's so beautiful, believe me. It's just, it keeps you always, it's like you're always high, if I may use the term. And of course, finding your true path and your true self. This on its own is an amazing benefit to have. I haven't been through anything yet of how you realize that you are on that path. I'm just telling you about the benefits that you will get from being already on your journey, on your awakening journey. Another major thing is you start living your life stress free, worry free, no anxiety, no, no worry at all. Like, even if you have so many difficult circumstances in your life, you stop seeing them as difficult to start with. I'm telling you from my personal experience. It's not like I'm like today, if I wake up in the morning, the last thing that I would think of is if I have enough money in my bank account to survive for the next 3, 4, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. This was not me 3 years ago, and this was not me actually not 3 years ago even. This was not me at the beginning of this year. And your self-awakening journey happens on like step by step, or it takes it unfolds as it goes. It doesn't happen straight away, and like that's it. I know what I am, I know what I'm doing, and this is it, and I'm on that path. No, it takes time and it takes work. Like, I worked a lot on myself to reach where I am today, but I'm so happy I did that. I am so grateful I did that for myself. I am so happy I loved myself enough to take myself to this through this journey and to reach where I reached today. And I'm still learning, and we are all still learning, and we will always be still learning. There's so much knowledge on your awakening journey that it will never stop. You are always growing, and you're always bringing new information to your being, to your existence, and it's always evolving. This is the beauty of it. And if you are doing things right for you, and if you're doing them from your heart, and if you're doing them with all the love that you have for yourself, remember the self-love journey that we talked about? If you do all of this from your heart, you will never stop. You will always have this urge to know more, to learn more, to become even more higher in your vibration. And it's just an amazing feeling. I mean, I tell you from myself, I have changed so much, and it's a beautiful change to have. It's a beautiful change to acknowledge and to accept and to live with and to grow. Not just to live with, but to make sure that you grow it. And then your life, that's another benefit, becomes really very meaningful and very fulfilled. Like, there's nothing missing in your life, because it's all in here, and it's all in here. You already have it. You already have everything. It's just the knowing that you already have it, and the knowing of what you need to do with the things that you have. Like me knowing that I wanted to be of service, me knowing that I want to help people grow in their own championship, in their own inner champion that is there, and just wanting to go out and wanting to just, explore everything around in this world. So, like I knew it, you will know it as well. And you will start feeling fulfillment and meaning to your life. The meaning to your life will become just so sweet and tasty, for lack of words. And then The one thing that has started happening to me lately, not too long ago, like maybe it started 2 or 3 months ago, is my healing for my body and my mind. The healing for my mind, I tell you, this was like an eureka moment. Everything that was there, that the beliefs that I had, and not just beliefs, they were, because they were limiting beliefs. They were not just like any belief. And here we're not talking about religious beliefs, just to be clear. We're talking about the beliefs that are imposed to us by everything around us. So the group consciousness where we live, the beliefs that everyone has that just grow with us as we grow up when we are children, the beliefs that our parents instill in us because of lack of knowledge, or because of, they didn't know better, and they did the best that they could with what they had. And there's no blame and there's no resentment. It's just you start feeling love for everything, for everyone. I mean, even the journey that you've been through. I'm telling you from my personal experience. Today, when I look at my childhood, and I didn't have the happiest childhood in the world, but I know now, when I think of those days and the circumstances that were around us when we were growing up in a country that was always in war, and still is, unfortunately, a different kind of war. But our parents did what they could, the best that they could with what they had. Their worry for us as kids was to keep us alive. And this is a huge responsibility for parents, to make sure that, their kids are just alive because of all the circumstances that are around us, from the killing, the war, the guns, the bombs falling on our country and our city. So now I know, and I say it with all the love in the world, that I understand where they were coming from. And I did that with all my soul, my body, and my spirit. And I went through it, and it was not an easy journey for me to understand why they did what they did. But now I know, and I was able to forgive a lot of things because of this journey that I was on. So this is another benefit from, you stop feeling resentment, you stop feeling any kind of entanglement, any kind of interdependence, any kind of hate. All of this just disappears once you are on this journey, and you are really working on yourself and growing with as the journey goes. It's just amazing, I tell you. I mean, because I am so happy with what I'm doing, and because I feel so much like energy inside of me, I just feel like I want to share with the whole world, and I want everyone to go on this beautiful journey that I, just like my brother was trying to tell me. But I also know that we all have our own divine timing. What or how things happened for me, and when things started unfolding for me, doesn't have to be the same for everyone else. It didn't happen to me very early. I mean, I started really very early to question and to wonder. But my proper awakening did not happen till like 2 or 3 years ago. And a lot of other people have their awakening starting at really very, very young age, at maybe some people at their teens, and some people in their early 20s or in their early 30s. Not me, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy where I am, and I'm satisfied, and I'm fulfilled, and I'm loving every bit of it. And when you do all of this, when you are on this journey, there's a shift. It's an amazing higher shift in your consciousness. and in your understanding of everything that happens around you. You start looking at things differently. You start weighing things differently, and everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you feel starts becoming more meaningful, and it starts having, like, everything becomes with a purpose. Everything that you say starts having a purpose. You start realizing that your thoughts are changing. You start realizing that your words are changing. It's amazing how powerful your words are. And it's amazing how powerful your words become when you are on this journey. And then you are in a permanent higher shift in your consciousness and in your understanding of things around you. Now, these were the benefits of being on the awakening journey. The one thing that we need to know, not one thing, there are so many things actually, that start happening in your life, and because they are happening in your life, sometimes you don't notice them, and I'm here to share this information with you so that if you are going through these changes or these steps, that you know that you are starting to go in that direction. You are starting to go in the direction of your awakening, your own awakening. So what are these changes and what are these things that start happening? The first things that you start noticing, or that start happening actually, is you start letting go of the beliefs that have been so deeply rooted in your being and in your soul and in your body and in your mind. So this is like one of the major things that start happening. And when this starts happening, if you don't know it now. It means that you are starting to go in the direction of your awakening. So you loosen up on those beliefs and you start being more open-minded in your beliefs and in your views, and you start thinking more and more about whether these beliefs and these views are actually serving you. You start questioning, why do I have them? So when you start asking these questions, and when you start noticing that you are in that, space, or in that time in your life, know that a major shift is coming. Another way to know that you are on your journey is also when you start, like, if you are doing something, like during your day, or if you are at work, or I don't know, if you are with your friends, and like that happens a lot if you are with your friends and there's in a group of people. It used to happen to me, and only now, actually right now, I'm remembering that this used to happen to me. Sometimes I would be sitting with a lot of people, and my mind would be somewhere completely different, without knowing where it was. But I would zoom out for like 5-10 minutes sometimes, and then I would remember, oh my god, I'm like, there are people around, and I would just come back to where I was before I started thinking or before I started zoning out. So zoning out is another way for you to know that something is starting to change in you. All right? Another thing that you should be aware of, you start becoming very sensitive to negative people and to negative events around you. And this is a major, major change. And it started with me. I mean, I'm naturally, people who know me will know, I'm a naturally born positive person. Although I have been through so much, and the ups and downs of my life were like, I cannot even count them. Like, I will need more than my hands to count them. And
even though I had all of this and I experienced all of this in my life, I was always, always, always very positive. And my positivity was not something that I would, um, um, how do you call, bargain on. I will always show up as positively as I can. No negativity here, right? But then my throat is drying because of talking too much. Not because of talking, because I'm also, sick. So, um, I was saying, you you start when you are on at the beginning of this journey, and how to realize that you are there. You start moving away from any negative person in your life or any negative event that might be happening in your life. You just would not allow it to happen, or you would not allow it to be part of your life, and you would not allow those people not to be part of your life. They will, especially if they are people who are close to you, they will always be part of your life. But you would start, and that's what I noticed about me, is I would start creating a certain distance between me and those people. I would always keep them in my life. I would always love them because I know they are on their own journey, and I know that what works for them doesn't work for me, and what works for me doesn't necessarily work for them. But at the same time, I do not let their negativity affect my life or affect my positivity or let it drain me. And this is why I chose to keep that distance between them and me. At that time, when it started happening, I did not know how to protect myself from other people's negative energy. I did not know how to protect myself. Now I do. And now, even if they are in my life, even if they are as close as like right here, living with me in the same flat, none of their negativity would affect me, because now, after being on this journey for such a while, I know how to protect myself from this negativity, and I know how not to let this negativity drain me. But at the beginning of my journey, I created that distance, and I was wondering, like, why am I creating this distance? Now I know, because I had started my journey, I had started my awakening. I didn't know then, but now I know, and this is why I'm sharing it with you. So that if these are things that are happening in your life, know that you are starting your awakening journey. And then another thing that would happen when you're on this journey, or at the beginning of this journey, or on the way to awaken, you start feeling like those, like they come out of nowhere. Like you start feeling those electrical buzz, like this, something different or something is happening to you physically. Start feeling sometimes like those waves. I like to think of them as waves that are going through my body, and that are just giving me some sort of how do I explain it? Like uh, ecstasy, if you want, for lack of words. These are strange energetic feelings that you get, but you get them. And if you do, always remember that you might be already on your awakening journey. And then you start also having more meaningful dreams. So, like, I dream a lot, especially now. Now I even dream more. But before, I used to never remember my dreams. And I used to always like, oh my God, I had some dream and I don't know what it was, and I don't remember it the next day.
when my journey started, my dreams became different. They started having meanings. My dreams started being meaningful, not just something that happened to me during the day and I would dream about it at night, or something that I'm expecting the next day or in a while that I would dream of. No, I start having dreams that are weird but meaningful. They have different meanings that I was not aware of. Now I know what these meanings are, what these dreams are, and what they meant. But at the beginning, I did not know. So if you notice that there is a change in your dreaming pattern, and if you start noticing that your dreams are having different meanings and are becoming like deeper and more meaningful to you, ask for advice, and ask, maybe try to understand what these dreams are telling you, because believe me, they are telling you a lot. And it's amazing when you start doing this and you start realizing what your dreams are telling you. And this is something else that, again, I mean, these are things that I go deeper in my program. And they are, there's a lot of knowledge there and a lot of information for people to take, and then you start seeing meaning in everything around you. Not just seeing, but understanding. Like when you look around you, you start being able to decipher like messages that things that are happening around. Like, when something happens and you say, this is happening, it looks like it's giving me this energy, or it's giving me this meaning, and you start questioning, but also you start deciphering. Like, for example, and the way we say it is everything happens for a reason, but it's not just everything happens for, the reason, and you are mastering it and you are deciphering the messages, but you don't really know that you're doing that. So for example, if you are about to go on for an appointment, and then you get a flat tire, you start deciphering the message of the flat tire, and you say like, okay, maybe this is happening because I should not be going to this meeting, and then something happens in that meeting that, if you were there, would cause you a lot of anger, maybe a lot of pain, maybe a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. So now the message that the tire gave you, that you actually deciphered what it was there for and what it was telling you. So these are things that are starting to build in you, and that are telling you also that you are on your awakening journey. And another thing that happens, which is very close to this, is you start feeling the synchronicities in your life. Like everything happens in its divine time. You start noticing that. You start noticing that everything is synchronized in a way that is just, things start falling in place at the right time, in the right way that works for you. You start seeing this happening. This is how, for example, I'll share with you how, like, my program, the reason I started my program, or how my program started, the synchronicities that were happening were just amazing. I mean, I tell you, I was doing a course that I had already done, but my instructor needed an extra person so that the numbers are even. So she calls me and she says, can you join this course? And I said, yeah, I can. I have the time. I will join it. Although I had taken it already.
So it was like a retake for me, and I was helping her. And I thought, yeah, why not? More knowledge for me. So I went to the course. And at the end of the third day, which is the last day of the course, I was talking to her and I was telling her, I wish I can do something with decluttering, because this is one of the major pillars in my program. And I wish there's something I can, how I can connect this work that I'm doing on myself, this energy work and the energy healing that I have in my pockets now, and it's something that I do and that I support my clients with. I wish I can combine these two one way or another. And she was like, yeah, maybe we should start thinking of how we can do these combined projects. And that conversation stopped there, and that was it. Forgive me. And then maybe the next day or 2 days later, she sent me a message to join a program, 21 days program, which reminded me that this is how my journey started, actually, with those 21 days programs. I did the 21-day abundance, and then I did the days love. These are the two ones that I did that were very popular at the beginning of Corona and the beginning of the what do you call them? I don't know the word anymore because I don't do it anymore. Anyway, so she sent me a message for those 21 days of awakening your divine feminine, or something like that. I'll tell you the name later. But anyway, the point is that she sent me this. I was, okay, there's something in there for me. So this is how synchronicity started working. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And I went and I did those 21 days. On day, I think, number 12 or 13, there was a session between Roro, the lady who was giving that program, and Nada, currently my mentor and my tutor and I cannot be more grateful to have this person in my life, I tell you. So, and I know her. I've known her for like 5 years, and I didn't know that she was doing this program where she was helping women starting their own programs. So everything was falling in place for me. It was just so amazing. And she was giving this free seminar. Nada was giving this free seminar for women to know their powers and their mastery and what they can do with their powers and their knowledge. And I thought, you know what? This is it. I need to take this seminar, and I need to know what is all of this about. And I did. And when I did, I realized, oh my God, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is what is going to help me be of service. So this is what is going to help me do what I came here to do. And this is how synchronicities play when you are on your awakening journey. It's just amazing to see and to just watch it unfold in front of your eyes. It's just something that, it's a feeling that I really cannot share, but it's a feeling that I would love for everyone to be able to experience. Sharing it is like words are not enough to explain it. This is what I'm trying to say. And then you start wishing to break away from anything that is creating conformity in your life. You start wanting to make a difference. You start wanting to change. You start wanting to get away from all the customs and all those unnecessary conformities that you have in your life. This is another way to realize that, wow, okay, things are starting to change for me. I am on that awakening journey. I am on that path. And a major thing that starts changing is your eating habits, the way you deal with your body, and the way you look. Like your face starts looking younger. You look younger no matter, like, even if, let's say, for example, I'm chubby. I know I'm chubby, but I still look younger. I know it. And I feel it. And everyone around me notices that. And they always tell me, my God, what are you doing to your face? Like, you look younger. But again, it's that journey that is putting me in that space. And it's that awakening that is helping even my physical to look different and to become different. And you know, the self-love that we spoke about last week helps a lot, of course. Because when you love yourself, people will look at you and they will just love you because you are radiating that love energy. They cannot but love you. There are a lot of people that might not love you, but because their vibration is completely elsewhere and their vibration is directed towards other things that are so far away from you, and that's why they will not like you. But this is normal. This is the way life is. This is the way our journey is. Not everyone's gonna like me. Not everyone's gonna like every other person in the world. And this is why people have conflicts, obviously. And then you start doing something that personally I like. For me, it was something very, very far from doing. And I started noticing that I would like to spend more time in nature. That wasn't something that I used to do a lot. And I think intuitively, what I did intuitively is I got my dog like to support me in being closer to nature. It's like I never thought in my wildest dream I would have a dog in my house. It wasn't something that I would be like, see, this is how I was completely getting out of the customs. I was completely getting out of the conformities, and I got out of my own comfort zone by getting my dog. And like, he was the trigger and he was the cause of me getting out of my chair, getting out of my sofa, getting out of my house every day, at least 3 or 4 times, to take him down and walk in nature. And it's such a beautiful feeling that I never had before. So it's amazing. The other thing that also happened is, if I am, like now, I'm sick, right? Let's not go to the this kind of sickness, but you know, you start healing from things without even making a lot of effort, without even going through the extra mile of even going to visiting the doctor, just by thinking that I want to heal, I want to feel better. You start feeling better. Like even me now, I know that you can hear that my voice is sick, right? And I like to think that my voice is sick, not me physically, not everything about me, just my voice because of the way it's sounding. But I feel very well. I feel very good. I just stand up and go and walk and do everything.
Like, I will share with you, even when I got, and I did get corona. So even when I got corona, it was very smooth, really, really mild, because I was already in that very high vibration and it did not affect me that much. Another major change that happened with me, and that would happen with anyone who is going to be on their awakening journey, they start reading different things. I mean, for me, I started reading to start with. I'm not a fan of reading. And I tell you, now I already read like 4 or 5 books in 2 months. This is like a record for me. So I started reading, and the topics that I read are completely different than what I would have chosen to read if I had wanted to do that maybe 4 or 5 years ago or 6 years ago. So I started reading very meaningful topics, very helpful topics, very enlightening topics. I stopped watching TV. I have to tell you, I stopped watching TV for a while. And then when I started watching TV again, I started watching things that were meaningful to me, that made sense to me, that were teaching me something. Not just those random, series or random things that we watch on TV. The music, I mean, listen to this. The music that I started listening to was completely different. I now listen to music that has a certain vibration, and it's just how it works. And I do it effortlessly. It's not like now I'm going to start listening to different kind of music. It just doesn't intrigue me anymore to listen to the music or to the old music that I used to listen to before. Although I'm a singer and I love singing, and for me, I still want to sing, but I'm very careful about the choice of the things that I sing and the words that come out of my mouth, even when I decide to sing a certain song. So I'm very aware about everything that I want to do and everything that I want to say. This is another thing that you start having. This awareness becomes like amazing. And it's just there, again, with no efforts. It just happens. And then, like I told you, there's a benefit of this inner peace that you start having, this bulletproof inner peace. This is one of the benefits, and it's also a major change that happens that you notice. When you notice it, know that you are there. You're already there. You've done it. You're on your journey, and things will start working for you in a completely different way. And even everything that I listed now, you're letting go of your beliefs, you're zoning out, your sensitivity to negative people and negative events, your feeling of this energy that you feel, having more the meaningful dreams that you start having, the ability to decipher your dreams and understand everything about them, the becoming aware of everything that is happening around you, and knowing the synchronicities and understanding how everything is unfolding for you, wishing and wanting to break away from everything that is conform, everything that is strict and necessary and customized in your life, understanding and wanting to be in nature, and this love of yourself and the reflection of all of this brings you to one major thing, which is one major change, and it is also one of the benefits, which is you feeling
inner peace at all times. Non-stop feeling of inner peace when you are in your awakening journey. And even if sometimes you feel like maybe there's a breakdown, or maybe you feel like sometimes your vibration or your energy drops, and that's normal, it happens, but the overall sensation and the overall feeling that you have day in, day out is that inner peace feeling. And that you feel like you are always connected to something bigger, something higher, something very divine that you are holding in your heart, and that you are so happy because you found it, and you will never ever let go of it. This is how amazing this journey is going to be. And I really, really, really wish that everyone goes through it, because like I said, the feeling is amazing, and it's not one that I can really describe. It is one that one would want to feel, and it is a feeling that will bring you to a different level, completely different level. Now with that, I will leave you to think and start noticing what is happening in your life. If you are in that period of time in your life, if you are anywhere close to that period, if the list of things that changed for me, and that usually change for everyone who is on their awakening journey, if these things are happening to you, know that you are about to go on an amazing, amazing journey. And I encourage you to go for it. I encourage you not to limit yourself. See where it goes. And it's just an amazing feeling. And I am happy if you have any questions, or if you want any advice, or if you want to know anything about that specific journey or those specific changes. I mean, I'm here. You can message me, or you can ask me questions on this live, and I'm more than happy to answer you. And who knows, maybe those questions might be the topics of other lives on other Mondays. So having said that, I wish you a great evening or morning, depending on where you are in the world watching this. And I will leave you with my usual ciao ciao.